everybody. Welcome back to Realness meets Entertainment in Color for our midnight review of Love Island USA Season 4, Episode 7. I'm your host, Chantal Francis, with my amazing co-host, Tamika Francis. How are you this early morning, Tamika?
I took a nap, so I'm good.
Oh, you took a nap.
I took one of those. What is it? I closed my
Power nap?
eyes and opened them up.
Oh, I mean, I love napping, but like if I get into a too deep of sleep, I might be like, I don't care. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna go for it, and then I won't let myself wake up. So it's very risky if I decide to go for a nap. I have to like either make sure I set alarms or not need to do something.
Yeah, I either set alarms, but actually, my friends were keeping me up because they knew I had a midnight show. So thank you to my Twitter Space Booze. Y'all know who y'all are.
Well, that is good that you had some people that were supporting you there. So we start off this episode with Sydney and Andy cuddling, and one of the themes of this episode was Andy and Sydney don't seem to fit. And they don't, but I think this is an Andy thing.
Yeah, it's not so much on Sydney. I think she was trying to go with it. And to be fair to her, it really wasn't her choice or option. Like she had no say in it. Um, she did say that they had a vibe, but she already told him, "I'm happy in the couple I'm in." He decided to make a jump. Do I hate him for making that jump? No, I think that was actually the right thing to do if he really thought him and Maddie were not vibing. So I get it. He decided to make a swap.
Yeah.
I just don't think either girl was the girl for him.
I agree. I don't know if I'm not sure why. I haven't figured it out yet, but as we go through this episode, hopefully we will.
Yeah.
Hello, Sophie. Thanks for joining us on our late night review here. So Timmy's talking to Isaiah and he doesn't think they are vibing. So Timmy, I think, has a pretty good finger on the pulse of what's vibing. And he said a good line. Oh, it's like what they're putting puzzle pieces together and all of a sudden they click or something like that. And I was like, I like Timmy at this point with his words a little bit. But Isaiah is big mad. Like he's pretty pissed off. And the one thing that I saw about Isaiah is it seems like he's a bit of a temper and not in a good way.
He
like I understand
has a short ass fuse.
Very
like, short.
I see him fully getting into a bar fight or something with a guy that like says something the wrong way to him or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and like having to be held back. And so I was thinking like, this is a little bit problematic. It seems like he's a little bit of a hothead. And I don't know if that's going to be good. Like I could easily see him taking something too far and getting kicked out of the villa. You know what I mean? And that never happening before. Like I'm like, he's pretty mad for someone that he's known for such a short amount of time, who he just told that he didn't even like 2 days ago. So
and also, to be fair, like that this is the point of the show.
Yeah, people are supposed to swap people out until you find someone that you really want to be with. If you really like her that much, you have time to get her back. There will be a recoupling.
Right. Just win her back. But instead, he goes the opposite and starts making out with Maddie and then doing all these other things. And it's just like, guy. I mean, interesting television, but guy.
Yeah. Hi, Nicole. Thank you for being here. Nicole says, as far as the show, I am here for his temper.
I'm not here for his temper if he gets kicked out the villa. I'm going to tell you the truth. If he goes after somebody and starts hitting them, I'm not here for it. And that's just it.
And I can see him doing that, unfortunately. But as far as like overreacting and being a little bit of a hothead, I'm okay with that. Like everybody's usually so like passive in the villa. So it's nice to have a little bit of like that like uber macho thing.
Yeah.
But he looks like he lets it get the best of him sometimes. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it.
I think also for us, we watched this whole season of UK and we saw kind of the stuff that Jax was doing, and you can kind of spot it when it's like, when it starts to make no sense, like why you're getting
big mad
that angry that quickly. Yeah, that's not good.
Well, hopefully he will tone it down, but it definitely for me was a red flag, and
Hmm.
I'm just keeping an eye on that one.
Yeah. I mean, he is also 21,
Correct.
so
21 year
his
olds
frontal,
love a good bar fight.
as my daughter always says, his frontal lobe is not fully developed.
Can't hold me responsible. Frontal lobe's not developed. So he calls over, Isaiah calls over Andy and says, like, can we get this talk out of the way? He's kind of going on about bro code and blatant disrespect, and he says that shit's going to be awkward. Like, Andy's not saying the right things to get his bro back, and Isaiah is kind of like wanting to be mad at him. So
Hmm.
it's just not going to work because Andy's not really smooth with his words or anything like that. He's just he's kind of a dud for the fact that he like made such a big move. He's
Hmm.
boring.
And then he also didn't like give him the most important information on why he made the choice that he made.
Yeah, just say like I
Like,
kissed
bro,
her
I
and I
kissed
liked
her,
it.
girl, and I liked her, and I thought I had more chemistry with her. I'm sorry,
Just say
but I'm
that.
gonna test this out and see where we go, and it might not work, but keep doing you.
I
That is
want her to.
technically what he should have said.
Yes, he definitely should have. Sydney's talking to definitely Zeta and probably Deb. It seems like Zeta and Deb are usually together.
Mm,
And so Zeta asked her what the kiss is like, and she didn't seem that excited about it, and she more so was like not wanting to see Isaiah kiss and cuddle someone else. She didn't like that kiss.
mm,
As
I,
in, you think he did?
I kind of, I don't know, because it felt like when they kissed, she liked it. I
But
just, I feel like if she didn't like it, she then should have like shut him down a little more. But even like after the recoupling, she seemed to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm kind of excited to get to know you." So I think she just is excited to have options, and then she realized by having options, that means she might not have an Isaiah at the end of it.
yeah, possibly. She definitely didn't seem though when she was retelling it to the girls like you would tell someone that you really really enjoyed the kiss.
Right. Yeah.
Like if I kiss somebody and it's a good kiss,
Hmm.
I would be really buzzing and like really excited. I wouldn't be thinking about somebody else most likely.
Or do you think she felt guilty?
About liking it? I don't
Yeah.
think so. She didn't to me. I don't remember how I felt about her after the actual kiss. I don't remember
Hmm.
really. But I do feel after this whole interaction that she's not into Andy at all. It could be just because of what went down, like maybe if things happened in a different order. Now it seems like because Isaiah's unattainable, like she's more desirable. It could be all of that jazz, but
Hmm.
it doesn't seem to be like she's interested in Andy right now.
Okay.
Definitely not sexually. So Maddie goes and chats with Isaiah. And Isaiah's kind of saying, like, if I had known that he was going to do this, I would have chatted with you sooner or earlier. Um, there's also not really a vibe there either because he's still kind of fuming. And I don't know, guys, when they're like super mad like that are not fun to be around. So
Right.
he was not being a joy to watch either.
Yeah.
So we see our couple, Zimmy, and he's talking about how good Zeta looks tonight, and he doesn't want anybody else to enjoy Baby Z. And she's like, "That's my nickname. People call me that. I can't believe that you called me that." And then she said, "The kiss of death." Oh my God, Zeta, Zeta's she's so old. Like she's just old enough to know not to do that. But she asks him if he could see her or them working out together on the outside world. And he says yes in the moment, but in his ITM, he's like, whoa, that drew me back a bit. Now, as a woman, I understand Zeta coming there. She's thinking that's like flirty and cute, and like she could probably potentially see something there.
Hmm.
But for Timmy archetypes and type of person,
Hmm.
that says responsibility, and that says girlfriend, that says lockdown, that says I can't be myself anymore, that says now I'm going to be an asshole because I want to push her away now because I don't want her to be too into me. I was so pissed.
I wasn't pissed. I got it. I understood it. He got
Um,
scared.
and what?
I got it. I felt like he got scared.
I think definitely think he got scared. I think that
I think he really likes her, but it's week 2. And this is what I think we were having that conversation. It might have been in our recap earlier that come on, like he's going to explore. Like it's the beginning of the show.
but the thing is though, I just wish that Zeta let him take the reins in that area.
Hmm.
I know she probably thought she was feeling out a moment.
Mm.
And she thought it was kind of cute and that they would be on the same page. I just wish she read the Timmy archetype a little bit better,
Hmm.
that he kind of has to be in control of that side of things. And
Hmm.
you kind of have to be the chill girl for now and let him call the show, like that type of guy, because they definitely usually get scared pretty quickly.
Hmm.
And I was not surprised, but I was just like, no, Timmy. Like, do you realize how much you're fucking up your own experience on this show?
He he doesn't, but I think he's gonna find out.
How do you think he's going to find out?
I don't think he's gonna want to see her with anybody else.
Hmm.
So he's good. What the hell just happened? He's gonna want to play, but he's gonna want her to stay.
Yep. I can see that for
And
sure.
what did I say earlier?
I don't know that they're gonna he's gonna date the new person.
No, I said Zeta is it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Definitely.
he's going to regret letting her go if he does. So,
Like I could see this could be their arc. I mean, this is supposed to be their after Casa Amor arc.
mhm,
It's happening a little bit early, but it could be a first test for them kind of thing. They
mhm.
go and they maybe see other people for a little bit and then come back together, and then he has to graft like heck for her. Try to get her back. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I think that might actually end up what happens.
And that
Like,
would satisfy all the people that were already trying to break them up.
yeah. And it'll kind of be that kind of Dammy India vibe, heartbreaker kind of syndrome. Yeah.
So Maddie and Andy talk, and she basically tells him that romantically that bridge is burned, and like absolutely romantically that bridge is burned. If he even could consider going back to Maddie, that's like should be a hard no in his thought process.
Yeah.
And she kind of walks off, and I think that she deserved to say that to him, and he deserved to hear it because he's just I don't know, he didn't handle that very well in my opinion. So Maddie tells the girls that she told him that the bridge is burned. They're all pretty happy that she did this, cheering for her. She's twerking. Um, and at bedtime, we see Maddie and Isaiah kissing. I'm like, see, Maddie or Isaiah, he's messy. He's messy. Him and Sydney might become like a volatile, like on again, off again kind of couple, her crying all the time. Like I feel like toxic couple alert is coming because boy, why are you if you're mad at what happened with Sydney and Isaiah, Sydney never really did anything to you as far as you know at this moment.
Right.
Like why are you kissing her, this new girl in the bed next to her so you can completely cut that off? Bad move, Isaiah.
Just, I'm telling you, 21-year-old
That's true.
immaturity. Just
Um,
not smart at all. And because I don't even think he likes Maddie like that.
no, he
That's the
doesn't.
crazy thing.
It's literally to get back at Sydney,
Yeah.
which is like, hmm. So Sophie wants to know if we like the American version better than the UK version. They're
I don't
different.
compare them,
They're
to be
different.
honest. To me, they're
Right now, I'm relating to the Zeta Zimmy, like the Zeta Timmy love story.
Mhm.
most because like I've been in similar situationships, and
Mhm.
so I can relate to that. I haven't related to any of the actual couples on the UK, but I like the slang. You know what I mean? You know, I like the accents and the slang.
Yeah. I feel like personally, a black couple has more of a chance of winning USA than they will ever have in the UK, and
True.
that's the only thing that does make it slightly more enjoyable to me.
Mm-hmm. Fair, fair, fair. So, in the morning in the vanity room, Deb is so happy. She's back lying next to her man. And then we see Jesse with the guys, and he's happy. Deb is back in his bed. And I'm like, this is just Deb's just a bed warmer right now. Like, if another blonde walks in that's interested in Jesse, he's going
Mhm.
to explore it and get himself in another mess. 100%.
Um, so many people seem to be on board with this couple,
Well,
and
fine. They're on board with her getting her heart broken, I guess.
I just can't get on board with them. For him, he might very much be into her type. Um, but I just feel like she's fetishizing him, and so I can't get into it. I can't.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just not into him, and so I don't
Yeah,
really want to see him
he's
with
definitely
anybody.
icky. He's
Yeah,
definitely icky.
he gives me the ick for sure. So Andy is talking about how he made the right decision for himself. Like you could tell that he's young for the fact that like it's just so rude. Like where's it like I'm sorry man, like I this is what I felt was good for me. I'm
Right.
sorry that it hurt you. Like I didn't really mean to go at it that way, but I just felt like we had a connection and I went with it and I didn't have enough time to talk to you about it beforehand. I'm really sorry, bro. Fine, but not like I just did the right what was the right decision for me. Like,
Yeah, but
shut
in the
up.
process, you like it wasn't like a vow situation where like it just wasn't a bad situation. She came in, she barely was friends with the people. She chose the best connection for her. He had the chance to talk as far as I could tell. It seemed like he had maybe a slight chance to pull Andy Isaiah before and say, "Hey, just so you know, I might choose your girl. We kissed on the terrace. I might choose your girl."
Exactly. But he is not a stand-up guy in that way. He's a little bit
Mm-mm,
of a puss, in my opinion. That's I don't know, like that's I just don't know if that's the right way to deal with any of these situations. So
mm-mm.
Andy's just kind of whack sauce for me. Timmy tells Jesse, I'm like, oh, don't tell Jesse like about what you're going through with Sita. About how now he's calling it saying it rubbed him the wrong way. And I'm like, the fact that someone just asked you a freaking question, like, I get it. Guys get scared over strippedness, but like, she didn't even ask it in a way that he needed. He needed to give her anything. He needed to just like be like, hey, it's a little bit too early. I can't think about this. I'm like, I like what we have right now. It's too early to think about that. Like, couldn't you have just joked that off?
I don't know. It felt like he basically took what she said, instead of speaking on it in the moment,
Making it into something bigger.
he like rolled it over and over and over and over and over in his head
Gemini.
until he made it a thing. Because
Well,
I don't
because
think
like,
it didn't have to be a thing.
no,
He could have been like, I'm not thinking about the outside right now. I like what we have right now. Let's focus on that. And, I'm still open to the possibilities of what this experience brings. I think if he had said something like that, it would be clearly like,
laid out that he's not ready to talk about the outside world. He's focusing on what's going on inside the villa. Get
yeah,
it. But I think, though, the reason why she said it was because he says he doesn't want anyone else to enjoy baby Z. He's just put ownership on her. And
that's
so,
what I said. He's not. I said all the entire time. Like that's what I said. I never got upset because, to me, he's about to screw up his relationship. He's not gonna want her with nobody else. It's that tit for tat shit that we were talking about. Because then he threw in, oh, well, she was talking to Tyler, and so that means like,
I can go talk to some other guy now. It's
yeah,
like,
it's that tit for tat shit that we're talking about with Ekin, Sue, and Davide. Will make for great TV,
mm-hmm.
but you're gonna fucking lose your girl.
Yeah, definitely. She's too, I think, mature to allow you to play that game for too long. I think she'll be over it quite quick.
And if
So
he's smart, which I think he's smarter than Jesse, he won't let it go too long. But if
it
he's
depends on if he has
stupid,
somebody else, though. If he has somebody
yeah.
else, he might be
But
able to be distracted.
yeah, but that was the thing I kept saying too about this episode. It's not like he's saying there's a specific person he wants that's in the villa
Oh,
that
sorry,
he.
hold on. Dan says, hi, it's 5 p.m. in the UK. I really want to make it in y'all's Love Island USA recap at least one time. Well, usually we'll be a little bit
Oh,
earlier. So most of the time it'll be earlier. I just do another recap right after an episode at 9. So that's why on Tuesdays it's going to be late for sure. Wednesdays it'll be late. But any other days it'll probably be right at 10. So thank you, Dan.
thanks,
We'll see
man.
you tomorrow or the next day. We'll see how things go. Sorry, I cut you off.
I that was the thing that I was like laughing at in this episode because people were starting to freak out, and I was like, but the thing is, it's not even like he's in this episode like, well, the thing is, I want to talk to Maddie, and I'm interested in like there's no specific person. He just wants to have the potential of someone else coming in.
Yeah, it's just kind of like guys like when like the thought of marriage, they just like they're like, oh, like leave at the altar, like I might not have anybody else to like make out with again. Like
Yeah.
he
And I
might
feel
be.
like Davide did a little bit of that in the beginning too, because remember he wouldn't like do stuff for Ekansu but I think it was because he thought maybe there was gonna be somebody else. Like remember he was like, oh, I would have fucked you and kept moving, and then he realized no, she was the only person that was coming in for it.
For
Like
him.
that was caliber him.
Hi V. So V says Andy is such a coward. Like just talk to Isaiah. He's gonna get booted off. I who's gonna get? Do you think Andy's gonna get booted off? It depends on the order of people
No,
that come
Chaz.
in.
Like you think Chaz is gonna stay?
He has a
Who's
little
he
bit.
gonna?
He's causing some drama seemingly next episode.
Yeah, but who's he gonna stay with? Maddie?
Maddie. Yeah,
Mm,
I think
I'm
Maddie
not
will
a
latch
fan,
in.
so okay.
I
So
can't
far,
tell yet.
yeah.
Hi, Realnesss. Timmy is too old to be scared off by a very valid question. Like, what are you even on the show for? It's centered on speed dating and connections. Very true. But he also has his old patterns of relationship. And so,
I mean, he basically laid it out that that's what he would do. So what what he would have to learn how to do. That's why being on the show might be good for him is to not do that.
yeah, he's not
So
going to really be able to ghost her completely.
right. So being stuck in the villa, he can't go with his old patterns because she's gonna be there. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't think Zayda's going anywhere.
No, I don't think so. I think that they better work hard to keep her in there. They better send a fucking Ovi over, like
Can you
fly
imagine if they
Ovi
sent
in from the
Obi?
UK.
Can you imagine if they sent it Obi?
He would be so emasculated. He's taller than him. He's darker skinned. He has a better body. He has the accent. He has the chat. Like he's
UK
Aquarius, so
would
he's gonna
die.
be good on the same level. Like
USA would die. Oh my God. Send Obi over.
send
Talk
Ovi
about a
hashtag.
bomb. Talk about a bomb.
So he better be. I hope that they have somebody perfect to set up to fix this up for her.
Mhm.
Yeah, I could feel that he could have just said, "I like you," but it's still early days. That would have been fine. And she's
No.
very easygoing. Like
Yeah.
she's like she'd just be like she might think about it and be like, "Okay, he's not ready for that yet,"
Yeah.
but like she wouldn't pressure him or anything like that. Like she's a very considerate, easygoing woman. So
Yeah,
the fact that he
I
got
think he's
so
making more
scared.
of it than it. But the thing is, he's making more of it that even what we saw like preview of next episode. I think she was joking, and he's the one that's making it like a bigger deal.
I don't know if she's joking because she looks mad at one part when she's
Um,
like, "Are you really saying
she
that to me
sounded
or something?"
Yeah, it sounded like she was joking because she was like,
It
it,
sounded like she's saying, like, are you really saying that to me like that? Like, as she sounded pissed.
no, not that part. The part before that.
I don't remember what that was.
Yeah, yeah.
So Realist also says Timmy doesn't know how to play the game. Ride this thing out until the end for the prize. I know, but he got more scared of the commitment than the winning the money at the end. So I think that he's just a commitment phobe, and he likes Zeta, and but he's going to be facing his own patterns in relationship. And what it seems to me right now is that he has multiple situationships and he's never fully committed to anyone. This is very Gemini, though. Geminis usually buzz around. They're usually the hoes of the zodiac. Them and Sagittarius in certain ways.
I said, are they?
Well, you're usually the ones that are in polyamorous relationships and, have a lot of friends, and they're usually buzzing around. And Sagittarius are usually, they don't necessarily like being locked down in a relationship thing. And they like to explore many relationships. So they're kind of similar, but they're a little more selective, maybe. Like they like being like the unicorn in like a relationship, so like the third in like a couple situation. So they're not fully connected and having to be committed, but they are like desired to come and be a part of a relationship. That's kind of how I describe Sages sexually. Sag men anyways, I'm not sure about women. But yeah, Sag men for sure are sluts, just saying. They do not want to be held down. Anyways, so yeah, like getting advice from Jesse too, I was like super annoying. And so Jesse does say that, sorry, not Jesse, Timmy does say that he hurts girls and he likes to move sloth like. So the fact that he says he hurts girls is that he's used to leading them on, in the sense that like telling them all the things that they want to hear, kissing them really well, making them feel as though that was an appropriate question to ask. They ask that question or something similar, like meet my mom, and then he's like, ugh. And then he gets cold. He puts on the goat, like the front, doesn't talk to them, ghosts them, whatever, and moves on to the next person. So I don't even know if does he even say that he's been in a serious relationship?
I don't know.
I don't
They might have had that conversation. We didn't hear it. And even, I mean, to your point, even after this, after saying all this to the boys, he was still just all up under her.
See, I mean, I'm very interested in how this goes down. This is a very interesting love dynamic.
Talk about main character energy, though. That's the other thing. I was like, listen, I kind of upset. Like, I kind of want to cry, but I also like want to see what happens with these two.
I'm invested in this story.
I'm invested in this relationship, so there's that.
Definitely. And like, it's just nice to know that the main character, the main story right now is a Black couple. So we got that.
To me, none of the other couples have as much chemistry.
No,
I'm just
I don't care about their relationships right now.
I don't care.
Not at all. If I had to watch,
although I did like Serenity and Tyler's
I don't think I could talk to you about this anymore. Houston, we have a problem because I'm on another book from another galaxy when it comes to those two. Okay, but we'll get there. We're getting there. So V says, take a shot every time Jesse says, yeah. Oh, he's just so not my thing. Not my thing. I told you
that's why I thought he liked Val, because he wasn't saying yeah all the time. Now he's back to yeah when he's back with them. Coincidence? I think not.
So Isaiah and Sydney have a conversation, and she's just trying to say, like, I didn't know what was going to happen. Like, and he was just being, all I wrote down is he's being an angry guy, which is just so, I think angry guy is so boring. Like, I know he's young, so he doesn't really know how to express himself and his emotions, and that's why he gets angry, because he's hurt, blah, blah, blah. But I'm more interested in like understanding more. And so I'd rather, instead of you just being an angry guy and I have to like guess what you're feeling, I would wish that he was mature enough to like being like, hey, I actually really liked you. Or even like, no, just being like, hey, like, I just felt that he disrespected me. And like, I don't like the position that I was put in. Like, whatever. I just wish that he was a little more vocal instead of starting to be a little bit of passive aggressive with her and being like, "Well, you must have known that something was going to happen." It's like, whether I did or I didn't, that's not the energy that you should be bringing to me. And it's like, do you want me to come back to you? Like, what do you want from this other than just to be nasty to me?
I mean,
So,
it's so funny because he was just acting like she was not it, and then or something was missing, and now all of a sudden she was his world ripped apart from him.
that's what I'm saying. It's false, and I don't know. Maybe the whole thing's an act, so it seems so he can just make her feel bad, and then he can like not be with her anymore. Like I don't know, but I would not be interested in coming at me with that energy, and she seemed to be turned on by it. So I'm like, okay,
Oh
Sydney.
Lord. Ugh.
So Dolph Ziggler from the WWE is going to be judging the. I guess it's what would you consider it? A competition? A
I don't know what that was, but I was laughing my head off. I said, Peacock that owns and streams WWE has a WWE competition with an actual celebrity guest star tonight. They are making sure they get all their money's worth out of
Yeah. Well, oh,
whatever
and know what
they
I found out? Sorry. So the reason why most likely Sarah Hyland is the host is because on Peacock she will be starring in, I believe it's a Pitch Perfect TV series. So
I will not
that's
watch that. Oh no. Can she even sing? Are you
oh,
freaking kidding me?
I don't know.
I'm about to be pissed. Are you serious? I already told you. Didn't I just tell you how much I loved Pitch Perfect? How
Yeah.
dare they?
Well, people like her. I see in like all the groups that like I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I love Sarah Hyland. And I was like, okay. I mean, I haven't watched the Modern Family, so I don't know. Maybe I would love her if that's the case. Or if I loved Wells, maybe I would love her, but neither are true.
I mean,
Jesse
I'm
is
sure it's
stiff
supposed to
in
be a
general.
comedy, but there's singing. It's about an a cappella group.
Maybe she can sing though.
How?
A lot of singers can, a lot of actors can sing, or she'll get the training. So that's why it's probably like a deal you know
Gross. I wish they had gotten Kiki Palmer. I'm still every time now that I think
what's the
about it.
drama that's going on with her and Zendaya about
Oh,
colorism?
somebody tried to say that her career was not as good as Zendaya because Zendaya. So they basically were trying to big up Kiki, but kick Zendaya, and then Kiki was like, "The fact that you think I should be compared to anybody is the problem." And I agreed with her. Like, no matter what you think her net worth is, Kiki Palmer is Kiki Palmer for a reason. She was the first in a lot of things before. I mean, her Zendaya maybe a couple years
I mean, I
apart.
don't know anything about these Disney kids, but
Yeah, yeah. But uh, Kiki Palmer was the first Black Cinderella on Broadway. I saw her; she was amazing, amazing. She was the first. She's the youngest TV show host in history. She's had multiple TV shows. She's about to host the game show. She's been a lead actress in a multitude of movies. She's worked with
yeah,
half of the biggest names in Hollywood. She's written her own books. She's starred in TV roles that she basically got so much buzz off of them, and they were supposed to be like short run roles that they basically started writing her into the show to continue. So I mean, she's Kiki Palmer. Like, that's she's not there. There should be no comparison. Zendaya is Zendaya, but Kiki Palmer's Kiki Palmer. Like, there's just no comparison in my opinion.
I don't know either of them well enough to really make an educated response, but everybody is unique, and to compare Black women's careers,
Right,
unless you're looking at like if it was me looking at somebody that I would like to maybe aspire to have the same similar trajectory or path, that
correct.
works. But otherwise, it's a little bit like we didn't have
Right.
the same
So
path.
so comparing her to a contemporary makes no sense because I think and Zendaya is like younger than her, so she's not necessarily a full contemporary, but comparing her to maybe somebody like an Angela Bassett, or even like a Queen Latifah, or somebody who like started off younger, and she just history after history makes more sense than what this person was trying to do. But I think they were trying to really like kick Zendaya, and Kiki was just like,
Mm.
don't bother.
It's probably, yeah, a very uneducated response.
Yeah.
But so back to the WWE superstar that's going to be judging this competition, and it's called tag teamed. So they have to crash through a wall, and then they have to smack talk the other Islanders, and then they have to burst balloons in the ring that are filled with paint. Then they have to pose for their photo, and then they have to kiss and make out. So I mean, this was a really fun one. I don't remember who went first. Courtney and Felipe were second. I didn't write down any of their comments.
Hmm.
I liked when Zimmy was like introducing TNZ. I thought that was cute. It sounded like
Hmm.
TMZ, and it sounded like a real duo, personally. Um, Puts her in a pretty suggestive sex position. I was
Hello,
like,
Peacock.
as A, hello Peacock, but B, hello Timmy. Like, if you're having such a problem with her asking a
I told you.
question, you should not be putting her in that kind of position. You should be a little more standoffish, I would say,
Yes.
sir.
Unless the game was done out of order, he was just carrying on. He was cracking on like he was like there was no problem. I'm gonna tell
Mhm.
you the truth. Um,
No problem
the only
whatsoever.
thing that pissed me off about it, it was, it's a cute situation. I just didn't like that y'all are so unimaginative that all y'all could do is just crack jokes on Timmy and Zeta.
Timmy
Because
being able, being the parents of the couple, being boring, being
yeah,
boring. I don't think that they're boring, to be honest.
no.
Like,
I don't
I'm
think they ate as much as they thought they were eating when they were going after them, and that's the problem. Like to me, that was the problem. Like you guys really think y'all are doing something, and the problem with that is y'all are doing nothing, which is why y'all are going after the two people that are actually doing something in the villa.
yeah, no, I was kind of annoyed with them all like coming for them, being like, "Oh, we're boring. Why are we boring? Because we like each other and we're not like breaking up and like kissing like because everybody nobody else has a connection. Like
And
they're
they know
they're
it.
the boring one. Why aren't they calling Courtney and Felipe boring? Because I think they're hella boring.
I don't know. Maybe because I don't know. I can't figure it out. Because maybe they're not seeing what we see on TV. Because I half the time Courtney and Felipe are disappeared from, and we saw this kind of last season too, like with Will and Kira, where they like just would
Maybe they're just like
disappear.
going off and like having sex somewhere and like
Yeah,
that's just
which
what
is
their
fine. But
relationship is.
you're on Peacock, shows the sex then. Because like I
I
don't.
don't want to see them have sex.
Yeah. Well,
No,
just
thank you.
just at least let Courtney and Felipe head to the bedroom, like just something. Like let us know that they're doing something. Because right
Fair.
now, for all I know, they're stuck in a pool somewhere. I don't know where they are.
It's true. They were also coming for Andy, and I think well, Andy deserved it. He needs to know that like people are pissed with him.
Andy
Um,
deserves it.
they showed Courtney and Felipe. They were I believe, the first couple. I don't think there was anybody else before them. Um, they made. I don't know if it was the announcer that made
Oh,
the
I
joke.
think they were the couple that they used as the instruction. So Ian was voicing over that their actual time that they went.
And I think it was must have been Ian that was making the joke that like her boobs, or maybe it was like one of the Islanders, were as big as like the balloons that were going about to pop, and then she does like a big jump and she fell like it looks painful. She tried to pop one of them and it didn't work very well.
Working.
Then we see, I believe next was Sydney and Andy, and she says, "Don't have too much fun with my man while I'm gone." And I'm like, Sydney, you got to be careful how you play this because you might lose them both.
Right.
Like, because if Andy's now decides to move because like you're not into him, and you're
Mhm.
saying this to Isaiah, who he might crack on when he finds out that you kissed, risky. But I mean, it's all for the fun of the show, of course. Maddie and Isaiah go. Oh, so she said, Maddie says, hopefully Sydney finds your balls on the island. It's true. We were saying he was a coward. So go, Maddie.
I think she
Um,
said, I hope you find your balls on Love Island."
I wrote down Sydney,
Yeah,
but
yeah, no,
I,
yeah, Sydney was involved, which is why I actually appreciate it because she didn't throw Sydney in there. Um,
maybe she said it though when she retold it.
Maybe she said it when she retold it because she didn't say it then.
Um,
And when she was trying to retell it, she couldn't remember exactly how she said it.
because I think I wrote it down after she retold it. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so Jebby, I'm like, who's Jebby? I still don't know who Jebby is.
I was sitting there like, when did your name become Debbie?
Oh,
She
it's
said
Deb
Debbie
and
now?
Jesse. I'm like,
Yeah. I was like,
okay.
she's Debbie now? Like when, like, we were told your name was Deb, and I don't like Debbie. I don't like y'all together. And then they said bullshit, and I just don't like them. I'm sorry.
What I wrote down? I don't like their, and maybe I put sex position. I can't write my writing. Um,
They were
they,
terrible.
I'm not into them at all. I
She,
just
first of all, she's obviously accident prone. She fell forward coming in, and then they were like falling out of the ring at the end. She fell multiple times. Then their sex position was stupid, and then like, I just their entire go was not fun to watch. Okay,
yeah. So Nicole meant around the villa. Yeah, we don't know where they are. Not sure. Yes, Deb is just so bland looking. Her attitude's bland. She's
I
bland.
just don't understand what people are seeing. How great she is and her personality. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Me neither. So we see after. Wait, is that it? Anybody else? So Maddie and Isaiah were the winners. Do you remember them being good?
I think it's what they said because I don't remember them being good.
Okay. Afterwards, everybody's kind of talking about the disses. I'm sure the producers like talk about the smack talk. Yeah, like how was that? Like it's so like heavy handed. It's like producers, we get you trying to cause some drama here, but
Yeah,
like
it
it's kind of
wasn't
obvious. It would have been more funny if people were just like one person did it like just naturally on its own, but the fact that they were forcing these, it's just kind of like not good.
right.
So they're getting ready for the night, and then everybody's outside doing that slow-mo dancing. And then Sydney and Deb chat, and she's only thinking about Isaiah. She's just thinking about Isaiah. Just thinking about Isaiah. And I was like,
Are you just thinking about him because you can't have him right now, or do you actually like him? Because I just can't tell.
I think it's because she can't have him right now and
I
doesn't want
think
to
so
see him
too.
with anybody else,
I think
and
so too.
didn't get broken up on her own accord. It wasn't like a natural breakup. So I see that because like she wasn't that into him. Like, yes, she like she was crying over him before, and I think it was just like her ego was bruised. I don't really think that she's that into him, but this is going to be a storyline for a while, I would say.
Yeah,
So Timmy is talking about to the guys about the question that Zeta said, and I'm just like, Timmy, like you're being such an immature guy right now. It's so annoying. Like he just wants to get hyped up by the guys, being like, yeah, like you shouldn't be holding you down, like and like some of those guys are probably playing the game, Timmy, and they're probably like, let's break up that strong couple because then I have a better chance at winning. And he's just falling into that trap of like not being well liked by America. I'm like, you idiot. You saw what happened to Johnny, or I guess you didn't. Like Johnny was
probably
teed
didn't watch.
up to
He didn't.
be the winner of the show.
He didn't watch. I doubt he watched.
Well, he should have watched because if he had watched, he would know
Don't do
that, and he would be able to tell that he was a favorite of the producers because they put a lot of things around the two of them, and so we'll see. He's not going to have that main character energy with someone else. I do not see him having that vibe with somebody else, main character, like, mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Sydney said, I'm sorry, Rila says, Sydney only likes Isaiah because of looks. He was so rude to her initially. She doesn't care for Andy because he's a bit of a cornball. Bit? Yeah, he's corny. Poor Andy, lol. Sydney's lips, oh my God, I keep staring. Terrible. I do stare at them a lot. Because I'm wondering, I'm like, do they hurt? Like, it just looks like they're about to explode.
They literally look like she got stung by a bee.
Yeah.
Especially when she doesn't have her lips like colored in. It's worrisome. It's worrisome. I'm like, it does kind of look like, are they infected? I know they're fillers, but they look like they're about to burst, and it's actually so I don't know if she got them overfilled knowing that she was going to be on the show for 2 months and that they'll eventually settle and she'll have them repopped, I guess.
I don't know the steps with the filler, but yeah, she probably got a fresh whatever put in
Mm-hmm.
for the show. So they're going to be that big for these 6 weeks, I would assume. Yeah, poor girl and her self tanner. I don't really find that she wears a self tanner. I feel like she's so pale, but that's just me. So Maddie is talking to Deb and Zeta, and Maddie hates like how she's been everybody's second choice, and that you know everything is just like she's not able to get what she wants. Like she's the second choice. Like people don't actually want to be with her, and it seems like it's a pattern that she's experienced in her life before this. And Zeta, she's like, I don't understand you. I overstand you. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
Zeta, can you be friends with me? I like
Mm-hmm.
you. So,
um
oh, go ahead.
I would say about Maddie, I don't know if I want to see sad sack Maddie.
I
I
think it
feel
could
like
be done.
yeah, I feel like she came in with a little more fire into the villa, and she's been not wallowing.
But like, look at who she's partnered up with, Andy.
Yeah,
Like, how is she gonna have a fire relationship with him? He's boring.
yeah.
And then like Isaiah, that's not gonna really work out. Like, she needs like somebody more fun, and I think it would bring out the fun side in her. So I
How
just
old
don't.
is Chaz though?
I don't know.
Did he say? Because
I didn't write down any ages for them. I didn't see it.
Bria, I think she said she was 26.
And she said, my older sister, my younger sister. I can't remember. I think he said his younger sister. No,
Okay.
because he's super overprotective of his sister. Anyway, so maybe he's 29 because he said that they're 3 years apart, I think.
Oh, okay.
So that's my guess right now, but he could also be 23 and she's 26. Chaz is
Right.
21, but we're completely wrong. Never mind. Thanks, Nicole. Do we know his sign while we're here? And what's Bria's sign if you have it?
Yeah.
So you liked something that I definitely was not into, and that was Tyler and Serenity sitting on the bench. And I was really uncomfortable with how she was asking him about his favorite sex positions and what he likes sexually. I didn't feel like they were there in the vibe that I had within the relationship up until this point. And
Mhm.
to me, it looked like he was uncomfortable with talking about it at this point. So you thought differently?
No, I thought it was a good conversation.
You thought it was Bria is 24? Oh, so, okay. So I was right with the 3 years, and she's 3 years older than him. Gotcha. Um,
I think it was a good icebreaker, only because
I felt like he was uncomfortable and wasn't into it.
oh,
Like that's the way I was feeling. I was like, I felt like he was like, I don't want to have this conversation, and she's like, well, I just want to get to know you. I just want to feel. She's just like, okay. And then when she's like, would it be bad of me to ask for a peck? And I'm like I don't know. As the girls, I don't think it's supposed to. I thought the moment's supposed to just come, and I don't know.
well,
I didn't feel it. Realist is not feeling it.
I
Realist,
mean, sometimes just go for what you want. Like, my whole
I
thing is get it
think
out
she
the
did.
way. If I feel like she felt like she needed to get something out of the way.
Well, she was saying like how she started out the conversations like, yeah, I'm waiting for a kiss. I'm waiting for a kiss. And yeah, I get it. She's into him. I get it. She
Hmm.
wants to get to kind of a
Hmm.
next level with him. I,
Hmm.
I get it. She wants to feel like a couple with him. But if he's not like forcing it from that way from guy to girl, it doesn't usually work. We'll see. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I do not think that he is into her like that right now. And
Mm,
I think he's still going to entertain her, but I don't think that they will be together for much longer. I think that if someone
mm.
comes in for him, I think he might jump. I don't think he's
I
into
think
her.
somebody comes in for her, she might jump. I mean, I don't see them being a set couple. I'm just saying that I think the conversation was good.
I couldn't watch. I was like screaming. I was so uncomfortable. So Nicole thinks Tyler is just hard to read,
I
possibly.
agree.
He hasn't really been open with anyone.
I
I
agree
don't
with
I
that.
don't think he was comfortable in that situation, to be honest. I'm sorry I couldn't watch the Serenity Season. I couldn't watch it either.
Yeah, that was fine.
Nicole, I'm going to see how this week goes before I decide whether or not he's into her. Okay, good. Like,
Yeah, I think
absolutely.
I'm with Nicole on this entire thing.
I mean,
I was fine with
they
the entire thing.
they could be crack on. I don't care, but I really was grossed out by watching them, and that usually for me is an indication that the vibe isn't there. Like something's
No,
off.
Devin
So
just gross me out more than they do. So there's that.
I agree. I agree, but there'd be definitely a second second. Definitely. Um, So I got a text and we got the siblings, Bria and Chaz, coming in. Deb thinks Chaz is good looking. I'm like, of course you do. I see what your type is. Like, I get it, Deb. Chaz is interested apparently. So they're all sitting around the fire pit, and Chaz says he's interested in Serenity. And Tyler says good luck. And I was like, forced. He's trying to like, come on, competition, you can have her. Like that, it just felt like, I don't know. Anyways, I'm not trying to be mean to Serenity, but I just don't feel like he's into her. Maddie and Deb and Sydney. So, because like all the other people that he picked, also, so Maddie, Deb, and Sydney is nothing like Serenity from my perspective. And I think that if he liked black women, like you'd think that he'd be into Zeta as well. Anyway, so I thought his picks were interesting.
Yeah, but Zeta, well, Serenity is not even close to his age either. But I don't know. I'm not a fan of him right now. So I just
Why do you
like
hate him so much?
I don't hate him. I just I'm not into him. I don't think he's cute. I wish they had sent in a different bomb.
A bomb that's not 21 would be great.
Yeah, yeah. Personally,
So Bria likes Isaiah, Jesse, Timmy, and Tyler. Um,
who doesn't she like?
I guess she doesn't like Andy, who would. Doesn't like Felipe. Say
Yeah,
two.
I think Bria's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
She seemed cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll see where like she goes. I'm just with I need convincing when it comes to these two, and then they can't couple up with each other because they're siblings. I've convinced myself. So I don't know where this is going.
Well, at this point, I'm thinking that Bria might take Timmy and Tyler on a date. That's what I think is going to be the most impactful.
Hmm.
Um, and so that's probably going to start the two couples being a little bit like frustrated. So that's what I think that Bria's going to choose if she gets two dates. Chaz, I think, will choose Serenity and Maddie, but then probably couple up with Maddie is what I'm thinking.
Mm.
I did find it funny though. We're like, are you each other's types? And she's like, no, hell no. And they're like, oh my gosh. And they're
Like
like,
this
we're
girl,
siblings. Hmm?
she's like, "Yeah, that's my brother." No,
It's like,
no.
oh.
Serenity said this girl. She's like, yeah, he's my brother.
And Courtney was saying what we've been thinking, like, so what are we gonna do with like the kissing challenges? Like, how are they gonna like, like, oh, it's weird. And it's like, it is weird. It's weird. I don't know. Being on like a sex, like it's like, what if siblings were on Too Hot to Handle? How gross is that?
I need to bet. I'm telling you, I think I just need a better siblings. Like if they were equally both hotter, I think I would be okay. And two, like if he was older, like let's say they. Oh, I don't know if you know him. Like let's say Cash. If they had brought Cash and her brother into the villa, right? I think that would have been a better like comparison. He's older, he's hot, like he has good energy.
If we're looking at light skinned guys though, like between like say him and Jesse, because I feel like they're
Yeah.
the similar complexion. I think that he's more attractive than Jesse.
Oh, really?
I mean, I guess I think Jesse's just.
Yeah, I'd still probably looks wise go with Jesse.
Realist says Chaz is lying. He's not into black women. I can see it. Well, let's find out if they have a black mom or a black dad. That's usually will maybe indicate for the men what type of women that they end up dating, because they usually like somebody that's like their mother. So if their mother's white, they're probably going to like white women. And their mom's black, they're probably going to like black women. It's just kind of how things usually go.
Well, I mean, I would have to see because I wonder of then Jesse's parental makeup because Timmy I know is biracial, so
Does he have a black mom or a mixed
he
mom?
does.
He does, to me.
He does.
And so, like, yeah, so let's go and do a deep dive to see if Jesse has a black or a white mom.
Yeah.
It just usually that's the way it goes. You know, if you have a black, if you're mixed race and you have a white mom, and if you live potentially with the white mom and not necessarily in like the Matt James of it all. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I understand. I think that's an American thing because I'm going to tell you the truth. If it's a Jamaican thing,
It's not
Jamaican
Jamaican
men
thing.
like white women. They don't care if their mom is black or white.
Well, Jamaican, like from like you living in Jamaica or living in the States?
Both.
I'd say living in Jamaica, they usually, from my experience, is because they want the money, like they want the white woman to take care of them in Jamaica. Is kind of
Yeah.
my experience, having their like white woman that like pays for everything. I don't know. So, but yeah, an American thing though, or Canadian even, that's what I've noticed is the pattern.
Mm,
Nicole says that is true. Mother is usually the indicator. Yes,
mm,
I agree. Bria's cute, but there's no real guys for her. Yeah, I agree, realist. No real guys for her.
mm.
We end up with I've got a text. So the audience has voted for Bria and Isaiah to go on a date and Chaz and Maddie to go on a date.
Annoying.
We expect that. You're annoyed? Why?
Because that's not who I voted for.
Well, you know
I
that
voted
like you are not the Facebook audience, or you don't usually agree with any of the audiences, so
never, never.
it's
They
not
pissed
going
me off.
to go your way often, I would say.
No, they pissed me off. Well, at least it's not. It wasn't to me and Zeta,
Yeah, I
but
don't think they would have had the pull for that. I think that they didn't like what happened to Isaiah, and they
mhm.
want Maddie to have another chance, and so that was they're like a friendship couple at this point,
And
or when they were
meanwhile,
voting, anyways.
Isaiah and Maddie are sitting there looking like shell shocked that they got dates. Like it was,
Well,
it
Maddie
was a
at
waste.
least like I think wants to explore, so we'll see what
Mhm.
happens between them. I don't really see Bria and Isaiah hitting it
No,
off.
not at all. It
She's
was a
she
waste.
Yeah, it is waste. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the episode. Is there anything else that we missed that you would like to talk about?
Actually, no. I still am firmly into the season. I will say that was not. I do like the time. Like it's like 45 minutes. It's a good show. I don't know what they're cutting out, but I'm still solidly into the season.
I'm into the season, absolutely. I'm into the love saga of Zimmy. Like, I feel like we're gonna get some drama next episode. I'm here
Mhm.
for it. I know that our girl Zeta is gonna come out on top from whatever that person does with her.
He's not going to
So,
find somebody better than her, in my opinion.
oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But I
Unless
like their vibe up until
unless a
now.
unicorn comes in like a Priscilla, I don't see it.
For him, yeah, no,
Yeah,
no,
no.
he's not going to get any better. There's not going to be someone that's going to like him as much as she liked him, and that's going to be vibing as much as they vibe.
Mhm.
Like, did you forget you're on a show that they don't really support black people and black couples in relationships? Be lucky that you found
I don't
somebody.
think he knows that. I'm telling you, I based on the way he went around things, unless it was like producer led, he probably never watched the show.
Well, it's kind of like, okay, he's seeing like Isaiah and Andy and everybody jumping around and switching partners, and Isaiah and Felipe going from Serenity to Courtney, all this jumping around, and he's just been with Zeta.
Hmm.
But you're gonna learn soon that black people don't really get that many chances. So
Oh, they're off Jesse. Jesse's done. They will vote Jesse out tomorrow. It's probably going to be the white viewership who love Deb, and they love themselves in interracial relationships that will keep Jesse and Deb.
but anyway, so Timmy needs to check himself because like he may be really good in the real world, but on this show he's not going to have that many opportunities and not as many stars as Zeta is. So
Well, the Zimmy haters are getting their way. They should be happy. They
our
want
theory is debunked already.
so.
What happened? Does Jesse have a black mom?
I would
Tell
not be
me.
surprised. I'm going to tell you the truth if he does.
But do his
Um,
sisters date white guys? I wonder.
um, but yeah.
Or they live in like a very suburban area, like a white neighborhood. What? Tell me, Nicole. Quick, 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 quick. Yeah. So I'm interested in the saga of Zimmy. Nobody else's storyline I care about. I don't care about Courtney and Felipe.
Are
Loosely
Courtney and
interested in
Felipe still on the show?
apparently. I don't care about
They
Isaiah. I don't
should
care about
find them
Andy.
out. No,
I only care about Sydney because Zeta seems to care about Sydney. So I care about Sydney a little bit. I don't care about Deb and Jesse. So yeah.
I really don't.
Oh, he says yes. She says yes.
I told you, I'm not surprised.
But also, we got to say though, he wasn't cool and he was nerdy up until a certain point. I don't know if he can handle a black woman because
Oh, so like Elijah one from Married at First Sight. Well, no, his mom is white though, but yeah, he never before his wife dated a black woman, and that was basically what we said is because you couldn't handle one, and like now that you have one, you have to figure out how to actually have a relationship with one.
and that's what it seems like to me. I think he seems like it's easier to be in a relationship with a white woman because how does that make sense? He says that he grew up with all sisters and his mom and stuff like that, but doesn't date anybody that looks like his sisters or his mom. That seems wild to me.
Unless he just had this just not been the black girl. Can you
True, like he could
imagine?
have grown up in like I grew up in an area where like I was the only black
Oh yeah,
person.
he's from Ohio where Tyler is. And you see that all of Tyler's friends are all black
Hmm.
because he was on the football team. But Ohio is highly racist, like and discriminatory. So actually that does make sense. That being said, maybe the right black woman just hasn't stepped into the villa.
Well, I mean, the right
But
black woman is probably not checking for him. So
no. And can you imagine the what they would do if he left Deb for a black woman?
no way. I mean, I don't even see him doing that.
Hmm.
But like that wouldn't even fly at all. So yeah, I think that he feels like he can handle relationships with white women because he's not good at relationships. I don't think he's really good at all this stuff, and I think that him being fetishized and he doesn't have to be his truthful self and he doesn't have to do like I don't know. I think he's just weak sauce that he can't handle it. Anyways, I don't like him. That's it. Anything else to say?
No.
Tomorrow, I think we have to go live later, so we might have to overlap into Big Brother time. Just because I have a meet and greet that's till 6, and then by the time I get home and then watch the episode, it'll probably be around 8. So if you're willing to do it at 8, I can do it at 8 during Big Brother time.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah. That's fine.
So
I
that's
don't
what
have
we can do that
anything at
tomorrow.
8.
For
Yeah.
Love Island UK. So we'll be live tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern for Love Island UK. Midnight again for Love Island USA, and hopefully Thursday, Friday will be earlier. All right. Nicole says, yeah, we see how quick Deb took him back after lying, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that most black women would be cool with
Even
the way
Val
he's
was
rolling.
like, and she's Hispanic, was
Yeah.
like, nah, this is that. Sorry.
So yeah, he doesn't have enough game for black women, not at all. All right, Tamika, make sure you follow please follow Tamika on all of her social media channels. You can also follow me here at Reality Realness with 3 S's on most social media platforms. Like this video and let us know if you think who do you think that Maddie is going to end up with? Do you think that she's going to like Chaz, or do you think she's going to stick with Isaiah? Same with the twins or the siblings. Who do you think that they're actually going to vibe with? Give us your thoughts in the comments, and we can continue on this conversation there.
The most funniest part about that is that Chaz and Isaiah are both 21. Like, those are her choices. Good night,
Oh,
folks.
sucks. And she's 26. Brutal, 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 brutal. Bye. See you